Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter if you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making. Now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today. All right, welcome. We are live. Welcome back to Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am a femininity and relationship coach, and my goal is to help you find the person that you deserve. So if you have been listening to my content and you like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can like this video. You can comment. I will have the call the calls coming up soon. The number will be 813-816-1813, and I'll get those linked in just a moment. And actually, let me get Instagram on here. I do apologize with my tardiness. So, hello, Instagram family. How you doing? We are live over here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today, I want to first make a correction. So I was talking about a case which is the Michael H. and Gerald v. Gerald D. So that case was the case I was speaking about. It was post Roe v. Wade. The Roe v. Wade was, it was a civil action type case. So they had multiple plaintiffs, but they weren't married. So they did use a lady, she was 21 years old. She was on her third child. Her name was Norma. And fact about that case, she never aborted that child. She actually ended up giving that child up for adoption. And it said that she was paid by pro-life group. So that's what that case was. And then post that case, there was a woman who had an affair with another man, and the husband was like, hey, and she ended up leaving her husband, but going back to her husband later on, having 2 more children. But the father was upset with that, she was able to make all these decisions, not allow visitation. And of course, how our society is today. I want to say this may be a landmark type case that has shaped how the system is for fathers who had children out of wedlock. So back then, illegitimacy was a big thing. So she was able to, or he was not able to win his option for visitation and things like that, because even though he's a natural father, if you have a child outside of a marriage union, you do not have rights. If she's married at the time, the legal father would have rights. So even though that wasn't his natural child, because she had a child during the confines of her marriage, then therefore she was able to make all these decisions. So, and we see now, if you are a man who has gone through the court system as far as trying to have, established paternity and things going on with child support, you don't really have much rights, much say. And I think that case is one of the defining cases. Illegitimacy is not something as big. A lot of people have children out of wedlock now. And that was under the presumption that the child be illegitimate and things like that. But no, he did not win on that case. So I just want to let you know, my apologies. I was mentioning I thought that was part of the Roe v. Wade, but no, it was the Michael H. v. Gerald D. If you go back to that live stream, I put all of the details in regards to that case and Roe v. Wade for that case. So moving on, last live stream, we talked about this double standard that women are not able to do certain things. Society wants women to be feminine, be this, be that, and we can't talk about some of the things that men are doing that's trifling. But men seem to have this voice now on social media about the things that they that are concerning them. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel that sometimes a double standard, that if you watch a video where a woman is saying, men are trifling, men are this, men are that, is looked at as a negative channel, which I still think it is. But then you have a man channel doing the same thing for women. And I'm just not understanding why there's this double standard. But I don't want to harp on this rant too long, because I do want to let it be known that I think dating is really hard for both men and women. So I have some statistics I will show you about how dating is hard in the US. So we're talking about Americans, because I don't believe that everything is always race-based. I think dating in America is hard because a lot of people are not as traditional. These traditions are more so you see in other countries. We have been more progressive in America, or what you would call the Western world. You have the Me Too movement, you have all of these, the feminist movement. A lot of people are moving away from this traditional man, woman, patriarchal type family society. And dating gets hard for both men and women. And a lot of people think that it's just hard for women and it's not for men. And there is a small minority of men that is making babies. So I don't want to say that all these men are going around making babies, because no, there's poor decision on both parts. But a lot of people have it twisted that it's all the men that's creating these babies and they have no issues with relationship and dating, but they do. And there are a percentage of men that actually do want a long-lasting relationship. So I have statistics for you. So let me go ahead and link it up. If you're on Instagram, you cannot see, but you can hear. So I'm going to read these statistics. Hopefully you can still hear me while I am on stream. If you cannot, if you can let me know in the comments. And actually, let me go ahead and put my StreamYard link in here for those who want to do come on if you don't get to call, because I know it's going to be hard to call and look at the screen. Thanks. You said nice music, Andrea. Thank you. All right, so here we go. Can y'all see this? If you can't hear me, let me know. So let me go to this. If you can see here, I'm just going to show you this article. Nearly half of U.S. adults are saying that dating has gotten hard for people in the last 10 years, right? So let's take a look at this. If you can't see it, let me know. It says most daters say that their dating lives aren't going well, and it's difficult to find people to date. So if you see right here, 67% saying it's not going well at all, and 33% saying it's going very or fairly well. And this is a percentage of people saying overall their dating life. And then on this side, the percentage of daters saying that they have found it either somewhat difficult, and that's somewhat, very or somewhat, that's 75% have found it somewhat or very difficult to find people to date in their past year. And 25% says very or somewhat easy. And this is in the past year. Now, this was done, I want to say this was a 2020. Yep, 2020 when this was written. Let me see when the actual consensus was done on this. This was 2019. This is Pew Research Center. And I'm going to go down to the statistics with men and women. So let's take a look at this. Long distance relationships, debt, voting for Donald Trump, top of the list, deal breakers. If you look at this, 51% says they definitely or probably would not date people who live far away. And we live in this social media era where people are dating people that are at a distance, right? 10 years older than them. And I know a lot of women like to date older men because the maturity. And then it says raising children from a different relationship. If you can see that right here, 36% they said would not, and 64% saying they either already have or definitely will. And I know we hear a lot of women complaining about men saying they don't want to date those who have children. And this is just single men. A lot of men are saying that, but a lot of people do end up dating people who have children. So that's 64%, contrary to the irritation that a lot of people are having with trying to find someone who would like people to have kids. Actually, 64% of people are saying they will date someone from a previous relationship. 36% say they will not. 27% saying they would date people, they would not date people younger than them. And then 73% said that they would. Look at this. Look at the religion. 77% of people saying they would date or they already dated people with different religions. So it looks like even with people being flexible, and if you look at this blue, this is definitely or probably would have already. So a lot of people are saying they will do a lot of these things and they're still having a hard time dating. So this is actually pretty crazy. So I'm going to move down towards the genders a little bit. The public sees challenges for men dating in the era of #Me Too movement, right? 65% say it's harder for men. So this is a percentage saying that the increased focus on sexual harassment and assault over the last few years has made it harder for men to know how to interact with someone that they are on a date with. 9% says it's easier for men, and 24% said it hasn't made much of a difference. And when I think of Me Too, I don't even think it's just the harassment. I think of the whole feminist movement is kind of rising up again. So I would say that may factor in for a lot of men. 43% says it's harder for women. 17% says it's easier for women, and 38% said it hadn't made a difference. And if you look here, it says men, especially older men, say that it's harder in this particular era. Most Americans say that premarital sex is at least somewhat acceptable. If you look right here, sex between unmarried adults is in a committed relationship. If you look right here, 25% says never. So this is a percentage saying that personally, they think that each of the following is either never acceptable, regardless whether or not they would do it themselves. And this says sex between unmarried adults in a committed relationship. 25% said never. 9% says rarely, 22% says sometimes, and 43% said always. Casual sex. Look at this. Look at these numbers. There's almost identical between unmarried adults in a committed relationship and casual sex between consenting adults not in a committed relationship. This number is quite high. And then people are wondering why you can't get into a relationship where it's leading towards marriage, because people just have casually having sex. And nothing, I understand people are going to do it, but to casually do it, it defeats the purpose if your intent is for a long lasting relationship, something serious. Casual sex is more like hookup. This is the hookup culture. Consenting adults exchanging explicit images of themselves. These numbers are almost identical. And having an open relationship, 48% said rarely. 20% says, or never. 48 says never. 20% says rarely. 18% says sometimes. And 14% says always. And breaking up breaking up with a person is largely seen as acceptable and a way to end a relationship. In person, 88% says always. But do you see right here, there's a percentage of people that would say sometimes through a phone call. 41% says sometimes through a phone call. 10% says always. 11% says sometimes through a text. 2% says always. 2% through email. 11% says sometimes through email. And through a private message on social media. 2% says always, and sometimes says 10%. So we live in this era where people are breaking up through email, private DMs, private messages, text, phone. And I think a lot of this has to do with the hookup culture. But just if you guys want to look at this on your own, let me scroll back up so you can see. This is the article. So let me look at this right here. Half of singles are not looking for relationships or dates. The percentage of people not looking for a committed relationship or casual dates is 50%. So 50% of people are not looking for something serious. Looking for casual dates only, 10%. Looking for a committed relationship only is 14%. And looking for either something casual or committed is 26%. Or unless they're saying either, like it doesn't matter. So this number is 49% for someone looking for something. And then there's 50% looking for really nothing. I'm assuming if they're not looking for a committed relationship or casual dates, they're just looking for sex. I'm assuming that's what they're saying. And this is single adults. Half of the single adults are not even looking for a relationship or dates. And the other half is looking for either something casual or something committed. Right? And if you look at this, defining who is partnered and who is single and who's a dater. And it says they asked a series of questions in order to group people into a category. Are you currently or casually dating? There's a people that even some people skip that question because they are just casually dating. And then it says, look at this right here. I don't know if you guys can see the details. This is crazy. Lightning bolt. I've only been in a relationship, and that was 12 years ago. I'm in my 30s, and none of the sisters I've interacted with have any interest in me at all. You know, a lot of women, people think that it is just men that wants to just get in the hookup culture. A lot of women are doing that. They just want hookup culture. That's what they want. And Lightning Bolt says, women claim to like men and to be family oriented, affectionate, protective, devoted, love children, honest, knowledgeable, courageous, which is me. But none of them showed appreciation. Exactly. We are in, and I think I had Austin Holloman on my stream. I want to say this was early Tuesday of last week. I want to say that was. And he said it's hard to date in America because a lot of people don't want anything. They don't want anything serious. They're not looking for anything. They just either want to hook up. And we see here, I have this backed up. Going back, a lot of people, let me just go back. Look at this. 50% of people are not even looking for a committed relationship or casual dating. So I'm assuming that must mean just sex. They're not looking for any of that. Let me see if they made any notations to that. No, I thought they were going to say something to what that meant, but this, yeah, so this is it. And then this is how they categorized everyone. But if you go back, I thought I had something here about what men wanted. Oh, here it is. I think it was harder. If you go here, it's harder for men to date in this era because we have had Me Too era. I think a lot of it is after Me Too, after the feminine wave rising up again. All of these things, it makes it harder for men to just date. Period. So the fact is, because I think men and women, some people consider dating talking. No, there's a difference. Talking is talking. Dating is you're actually moved past talking and you're actually going out on dates. You are most likely exclusive. Most likely for men, when they say dating, it usually means they've actually narrowed it down to exclusivity. You're in a relationship. Then there's the titles to it, and it moves up to from the boyfriend and girlfriend status to fiance, then wife. So a lot of times women like to say they're dating, but it's casual dating. It's really just talking. You're just going on dates, but you're not actually dating in some type of committed relationship. For a lot of men, dating is you're in somewhat of a committed relationship. And a lot of women don't want that anymore. A lot of women want to have their fun too. They're thinking, well, guys can do it, so can I. You guys tell me, what do you think? Are you guys having a hard time dating, or is this just other people? If you're a man, are you having a hard time finding a woman you want? And do you have any intentions of having a family? It's just you haven't found the one. I'm going to talk about this on a Philip Scott show, but I've been watching a TV show, and it has nothing. So is Indian matchmaking, right? And they're having the same issues. You know why? Because they've been Americanized. And what I mean by that is they've been fueled by this movement, a feminist movement, this I want to be a woman and go and get my degree. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they've been on that train so long that they pushed any type of idea of a family, any traditionalism out of the way. And they've gone, because in American society, it's about get your money, get your education, and be about your business. And then when you do all that, you can think about family. And that used to be something that men did, but now women are doing that as well. And there's nothing wrong with women going after getting what they want, but they put family on the back burner, and then they wake up and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm 34 and I need to hurry up and have children and have a family. And if you listen to what I said, it's Indian matchmaking. So that means Indians are having the same issues as other groups. There's white people doing the same thing, black people doing the same thing. So it's not even a race thing. I think in America, there's a hustle and bustle. This idea of get the bag and forget the family is not the way it used to be. The marital union is not just as important. People now are doing, let me go and get that baby, and I don't even need to have a man. Let me just go to the sperm bank. I don't need a holistic and a real family. This is what people are doing. Hookup culture is real. And there are people that still want it. And then Lightning Bolt says, I wanted to get married with kids so I can educate them on a true history, teach them how to define themselves fiercely, define them, etc. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you like this topic. But a lot of people think it's just hard out here for women. No, it's hard out here for men too. And there are men that want something real. And a lot of times people don't think that. They think, oh, well, why is he in a relationship and he has no intention of being with her? Newsflash, women do it all the time. They sit in a relationship. I know women right now are in a relationship with someone that they know they do not want to marry. They do not want to be with. But that is the father of their children. And so they decide to be with them. Or maybe it's just good enough. I don't know. They're demonetized. Who knows, right? Whatever the issue is, she finds herself stuck with this person. So just like men want to have access to something, even though that he says they're friends or it's not going to work out, or he knows that person's not going to be marriage material, he sticks around to see until he finds something better. And so do women. Tell me you're not you're not in a relationship that that's not great for you. I said there's two reasons why a lot of women are haven't found the person they deserve, either because they lack femininity and or they're in a relationship no longer than they need to be in. You've seen the red flags, but you still decide to be in a relationship. or you don't really want anything at all, or you're not serious. You should hear some of the things that some of these women are saying on the matchmaking show. They, even though they have an Indian culture background, they were second generation Americans and they sound just like a lot of Americans. Well, why can't I have it all? I wanted this at this age, this at this age, this at, they have a checklist. It's literally like they're just checking off things. And a man is supposed to be on a menu, and then they have all these lists of criteria of things they want. And it's unrealistic. This man does not exist. If you've seen that joke that I talked about, women going on different levels of floors until they go to the last floor, and then there's no men on this floor because all these women want a man that doesn't exist. They bypassed all these great men to go and see what's better. So I'll play this joke really quick just so you can hear it again, and then I'll even open up the phone calls to see if anyone wants to do that. Let me get this stream off here. All right, so let me play this joke and then I'll get the calls going. Yes. Lightning bolt. As I said, let's see what he says right here. As I said, defend as a fight back. If someone gives them a reason to. Yeah. If I had kids, they would have not been pushovers or indoctrinated. Yeah. And now we wonder why a lot of people are going out of the country to go find their mate, because in America, people, the views are sometimes so different. It's easy to get caught up in this society, especially if you are the person that goes with the wind and you don't stand firm on your beliefs and what you want. Society would tell you so much about what you need to do, and who you need to be with and what you need to deal with. All right, so let me do this joke and then we'll get the phone calls open.
Anybody heard about the new store in New York City? It's called the Husband Store. And you can go there and shop for a husband. There's 6 floors in this store. You can only visit each floor one time though. And each floor you go up, the value increases. You may choose any item from any particular floor, but you can go up a floor, but you cannot go back down. So there was a woman who went to the husband store to find herself a husband. On the first floor, the sign on the door read, "These men have jobs." That sounded good. These men have jobs. Floor 2 says, "These men have jobs and love kids." Floor number 3 said, "These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking." Wow, she thought, this is sounding pretty good, but I'm compelled to go on to the next floor. Well, she does go to the 4th floor, and the sign reads, "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop dead good looking, and they help with the housework." Oh, mercy me, she said, I can hardly stand it. Still, she said, I've got to go on. She went to the 5th floor. "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop dead gorgeous, help with the housework, and have a very strong romantic streak." But she couldn't stand it. She decided she had to just find out what was on floor number 6. Floor number 6 said, "You are visitor 31,456. To this floor, there are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please."
Wow. So, if you heard the joke, it is hard sometimes to be pleased. A lot of women, they are watching these shows and they believe in this fantasy life that, oh, I can be like the girl on Love and Hip Hop. I can have, this life. I can go from nothing to something. I can have the Lux life. I can have the guy who makes the 6 figures, a millionaire, all of these things. And it's just not reality. It's just not. The average earners, especially for men, are making around $50,000 a year. So yes, you're probably going to run into a lot of average men, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I always like to say the average man is what built this country. If if we sit here and say we want all of these, if every man became a millionaire and every woman became a millionaire, who is going to clean the streets? Who's going to secure the neighborhoods? Who's going to take out the trash? Who's going to do this? Who's going to clean up the streets? Who's going to, do the grunt work? I think that the homes that we live in, the buildings that we walk into, the cars we drive was built by what we like to call an average man, a man who used his hands to help build these bridges. And we have the audacity to call them below my standards. How dare you? So let me try to link up. Let me stop this right here. And let me try to share my, sorry guys. I'm trying to get the phone call stuff open. Okay. All right. So I have that open. So I will open up the phone calls. I did have a link. You guys can look at the link, the StreamYard link. Click on that if you want to get on. If you want to call, you can dial 813-816-1813. Tell me, do you think dating is hard? Do you think it's harder on women than it is men? Do you think it's equally hard? Do you think just in particular, because that was just all of people in the US, do you think in particular the Black community is even harder because with most Black people, we like to date within our own group. So it's harder if there's slim pickings, because I do believe there's some type of issue with femininity in our community. A lot of it has to do with how many of us grew up. It has to do with how society sees us and how did we even have opportunity to bask in our femininity based on our upbringing, based on our surroundings, our life struggles. So a lot of that is hard. Same thing for men. Did men have the opportunity to be able to have someone pour into them so they can pour into women? Let me know. All right, here we go. How are you doing? Welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
Good, good. So who's calling today?
Yeah, so this lightning bolt, the one that was talking on the live earlier, like I was commenting. Yeah.
Thank you, Lightning Bolt. How can I help you?
All right, so man, like I was saying, I'm in my mid-30s, right, and I was in a relationship for 12 years. Like one time, 12 years ago, right?
Okay.
And that's when I was in college, though. But I could tell them that they did seem like the sisters, like they don't like my personality. I'm just not gonna change it because like one of the things with me is, and there's a couple of reasons why I was like. I like stuff like I'm pretty versatile, so I like animals, wildlife, game. But I always been like family oriented, extremely protective. Like I don't know which I like my ancestors. That's the thing with like me. I never tolerate like when other races come inside our community stuff. I never liked that at all because I knew the tensions was not good. So I was down for like protecting our communities. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm like real heavy on it. You know. And like when I would talk about history, my family lineage as well, that bore like women sisters because they the only women I do like. I always want to be with. They the only one relatable. I love everything about them, right? But they just don't like me, man. Like they say they like a guy who's honest, you know. But when I tell them like honest truth, I guess they don't like, you know. And I'm like this too. I do have a policy too, though. Like if you date outside when you build other good person. I ain't with it. Like I don't want to deal with them. Honestly, that was like the number one thing that they didn't like, and I stand on that. You feel me? Because I've never been no other woman. Never have.
Well, let me ask.
Never will.
Let me ask you this, Lightning Bolt. You said that a lot of women, especially in during college years, they said that they had all these lists of things they wanted, and you said you were those things, but they still didn't like you. Were they more specific?
No, I think the one thing that really turned them off, the thing that really turned them off was when I disagree with interracial relationships. You know, it seems like our people get offended about that. Offended. Like, I don't see anything. I feel like that's like the main thing that like ruined our community, like the Black community. Like, because you know, Black people just want to be loved by every other group of people, but we got like our own culture. like we're the indigenous Americans, you know, like Aboriginal Indians, stuff like that, you know. So that, like, look what happened now. Like all these people, like they advertise an interracial relationship. It's not for a good reason. Anything that they advertise is not. It's never been a good reason. For good reason. And they would give like, well, I tell you what I want. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, you want judgmental ass nigga. It don't matter what type of, what part of the world you from, like what part of U.S., because that's what I prefer. Because those Caribbean women, no offense, like they like heavy on colorists. Like they rather be white. You know what I'm saying? They real brainwashed. And it's a lot of stuff, man. I know I'm all over the place, but it's a lot I have to say about this. Because this is a good topic, man. I'm telling you. Like,
well, you know,
like, I don't like the fact. Go ahead.
Well, I was saying a lot of women, and you guys probably see it often on social media, a lot of, especially dark-skinned women, seem to have an issue with Black men dating outside of, not even just outside of the race, but if they happen to be with someone that's lighter than them, it takes offense. I think it's just deeply rooted, a lot of colorism that's happened. So some women do need to heal from that. But yeah, I will say a lot of women do find offense to Black men dating outside the race, and now taking offense to Black men wanting to date outside the country for whatever the reasons men want to do that. So it is a touchy subject for a lot of women. So, you know,
yeah, all of them would tell you. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm telling you, like all the ones I did, man, and we've been registered, like I always was about that, like always protect them. Because our ancestors, and I keep saying it, like, and the men in that community, they dropped the ball straight up. It is what it is. Like they dropped the ball. Like I don't like the fact seeing like these other group of men, like, you know, coming up to our women here. It's like, hey, I know feel how they want to feel, but it ain't got nothing to do with love, bro. It's lust. They sexually fetishize over our people. I know I don't know if you disagree with it or not, but no, I don't like that, man. Like I want like our sisters shouldn't have to go out and do OnlyFans and stuff like that, and they do it because they trying to support their kids and families. So I'm like, damn, that's bad. That's making us look bad as men because we ain't doing the right thing as a, you know. So I also got on the men. So this caused me not to have friends. You feel me? For being honest like this, I know I look at it, like I put myself in this. So I was like, damn, y'all held it down. So I was like, bro, like. Y'all been holding on yourself. Like that's what I'm saying. I understand how y'all feel when y'all feel by yourself. I'll protect you. They know that. Like although I will do it, but they still don't like it's crazy, man. Like I said, bro, I tell dudes all the time. I'm going to the barber shop and some dudes like, yeah, bro, you right, bro. And like it's crazy, man. You feel me? I can go on and on about this, you know.
Well, you know, I will say this. I do hope the best of luck for you in because you're young. You're still you said you just turned 30, right? Or you said you're in your mid-30s.
I'm in my mid-30s.
Oh, okay. Well, I do hope that, you know, dating gets easier for you. But, you know, it is especially for those in the Black community, dating interracial dating is a touchy subject for a lot of people. I'm all for Black love. I am, but right. I do think that many people, I don't even think race is the biggest issue of people in their dating preferences. I really think a lot of people just across the board, whether it's the Black community or otherwise, they're just superficial. So even if it's within the race, a lot of people are superficial and they can't get to the seriousness of dating. You know, for women, it's the tall, dark, and handsome, if it's inside her race, or someone who has money and things like that. So I do think, I don't even think interracial dating is so huge in our community that it affects, marriage at this point. But you know, as you can see, a lot of people want to do hookup culture. I think that's the culture we're in. According to that article, a lot of people just want to do hookup culture, whether it's in the same race or not. It's just people are not serious about love, Black love, any love. They're not serious about that. And we're creating children out of this so-called fake love that we have going on here. So I hope that things get better for you. Because, you know, when you get 40, people are going to start, you know, that's when people start thinking about, dang, what could I have done different? Men and women. and they want that family. So I hope that you get that out there, because there's some women out there looking for you. There's some women out there looking for you. So I don't know. Are you going to be one of those people that go out the country?
Nah. I'd rather be in the U.S., man. USA. Like, I had the opportunity, like, with Caribbean women, like I said, but they was very, and then it was like this Haitian girl, but that show was crazy. She was like, she didn't think like our Holocaust was like nothing serious. Like, they was joking about like the stuff that happened to our people. They say it wasn't bad. I'm trying to say, I was like, nah, man, I'd rather be in the USA. No African women, nah.
So you want to date women that understand your plight. The plight of African Americans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like them way better. I like women from the USA.
All right. Well, the best of luck to you in dating, because dating is hard out here in these streets.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Take care. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
I don't know, guys. It's hard for some people out here, and for a lot of people, as Lightning Boat said, interracial dating is a big thing. You guys may not have heard, but a lot of women are it's called divestment, I believe, where they are tired altogether of Black men because of some experiences that they've had, that they're going to date other groups. And Black men are talking about getting their passports and going elsewhere, whether it's still women within the same community, they're going out of the US to do it. So a lot of people having so many issues with dating, especially within their racial groups, that they're going outside the groups. Is anyone having any issues with this? Is anyone having any issues dating, whether it's within your group or not? Just, is dating hard out here? Is the Me Too movement affecting you? Is feminism affecting you, whether you're a man or a woman? Or is it just a lot of people just still want to do the hookup culture? And that's not what you want, because as we see here, it is equally hard for men. I think it's at 65% men, and this is just across the board, not just Blacks. So 65% of men are having issues after the Me Too movement. And again, when I say Me Too movement, you know, I'm even thinking of feminism and things like that. Anything relating to men being uneasy, they're nervous now, because I think that was, I can't remember that actor. He went on a date, and instead of her calling it a bad date, she tried to stick the whole Me Too movement because the date was so bad, because he was so pushy. She threw up the "was there consent?" But she acted as if she consented. When I listened to the story, I can't remember. He's the guy, if anyone knows his name, he's the guy who did the Netflix series Master of None. So he's an Indian guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah. So a lot of people are really nervous about going on dates now. Touching someone the wrong way, not being able to get the proper consent that society says they need. It's scary for a lot of people. The whole chivalry, and should men be as chivalrous, depending on the woman that they are with. A lot of women are competing with men. Not all, but a lot are. I always like to refer to that song, that jingle. I think it was a jingle for Gatorade or something back in the day. Anything you can do, I can do better. So it is serious. But put it in the comments, or you can call on the next live that we will have. Let's see, today is Thursday. So the next live will be Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will wrap this up for my Instagram family. I do appreciate that you guys taking the time to watch me over here as well. Sorry you didn't get to see the stream, but you are able to go to the playback on YouTube. You can do that. Yes, Green Lantern. Yes, Aziz Ansari, the comedian. Yes, that was the Indian guy that had the issue. In regards to his Me Too movement, he went on a date. She asked to go back to his place. No, actually, she approached him. I can't remember how they first met. They were at some type of event. I think it was a after party, or it was an exclusive after party or before a showing or something like that. And she approached him and she asked to go, she talked to him. He got her number. They went on a date. She has to go back to his place. He's like, okay, like I'm about to get some. And she gives him some, but because she didn't say no, or she thought he was too pushy, too aggressive with the act of, as soon as he get home, going to the sofa, I think, and it just kind of, basically, if anything, he was too eager. But instead of it just being a bad date, she plastered it all on some type of social media site, and he lost a lot. Until a lot of people read the story, and they were like, I'm not sure I would classify this as some type of harassment or not getting consent. He even offered to take her home. He asked if she was ready to go, and she didn't go. And she said she felt pressured to not go. But he offered her a ride. She offered to go to his place. So, a lot of people are scared. A lot of dating gets hard for a lot of people because outside of the whole Me Too, that was just one factor. But a lot of people are not showing what their intentions are as well. A lot of people say they either want casual dating, which I still feel like casual dating is part of the hookup as well. Some people want nothing but sex, and some people want casual dating. And sometimes you don't know that up front. Sometimes men will tell you, and sometimes you find out by the third date that that's all they wanted. So you get a lot of women on these dating profiles saying, I don't want the games. But then again, men are playing games. They're trying to not do anything with you the first few dates to make you think they don't want anything. And then when they smash, they're gone. That's true as well. A lot of women are doing the same thing. They're just doing it in a hypergamous way. They go on a few dates with you, think they don't want you for your money, and then they get all the money they can get out of you and then bounce. So this is hard for everyone. Men and women are playing games. They are. So it's hard out here on these streets, which is why I'm glad I am married and I don't have to deal with this social media age. But let me know what you think on the playback. Put it in the comments. Maybe next time you get on that StreamYard, request to join on Instagram, or you guys can call. But until then, I will be able to, until then, I'll get the next live stream set up. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but if you have an idea of what topic you want, put it in the comments, and maybe I can talk about some things. If you like this stream, if you like my content, if you watch my other content, you are able to follow me on Instagram. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can watch me on the Philip Scott Show. I am a contributor on there, so I do have some content there. So thanks for all the love. I appreciate you. Until then, see you Tuesday. Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the when to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today.